Okay, now we will do the hair of our horse. And you will say, but Nico, you told us the previous video that we will make the pike. And you will be right, we'll make the pike. So, now, let's append a cylinder here. Where is this cylinder? It's somewhere inside the head of our dragon, so I will go on the lower part, on the bottom of our subtool stack, and I will select our cylinder and put it just in front of our character here. So, what can we do with this cylinder? We can do everything, and we will. I will increase the size of it, I'll make it smaller overall, but I will increase the length of it. So now, let's start. I will press X for symmetry. I don't need it now, but probably it will be fine. So first, I will mask this top area, and I will invert the mask. So masking is with Control drag, and Control click, it will invert the mask. Now I need my pivot, or my gizmo, to go, I will put it like this, to go on the top. So, how to make our pivot go into the middle of our unmasked area? So it should go here. How? Just alt click on this location icon, and it should go there. And basically it had to go there. It didn't go exactly where I want it to be, which is strange. There is something wrong here. I'm not sure why. What? But there is something very... no, it's not wrong. The thing is that if we have symmetry, it will not go exactly in the center. So with symmetry, without symmetry, it will go exactly in the center. Now we can make it like this. So this will be our point here. The next thing we're gonna do is we will mask this area, invert the mask, put our pivot there, and move it up. And then we will squeeze it and put it a little bit more up. So now this, you see, is the top part here. It's not very sharp. It will be at some point, maybe, if we want. But I will squeeze this a little bit more. Let's mask it, invert the mask, and squeeze it a little bit more. So in the lower parts, let's do this. Let's select everything, invert it, everything below this point, and just move it along. So it will be here. So this will be the longest part of it. Now I will select this, and I will make it the widest part here. Like this. And I'm leaving few other loops to help me. Just do this. And then of course, if I need, I will do also. I will move my pivot just up like this. And this is kinda the thing that we want, but not exactly. We are just making overall look of our pike, and then we will make it work. The next thing I want to do, I want this thing here, though this lip, to have a thickness. So I will go to my Z modeler brush and add insert. I will insert one poly loop in here, or edge loop in this case. And then this one here, I will mask, invert the mask, and pull it all the way up, just to hide it. So then I will take everything here and make it smaller. But no, first I will Control Z. First I will take everything here, and then I will make it smaller. And I think this could be it. This compared to this, yeah, it's not exactly a perfect thing yet, but we'll see. At the end here, I will have this, yeah, get all the masks away, and make sure when you do this, you are snapped into one of the views. So you just rotate the camera and then shift snap to the front view, and for example, it will be nice. And also don't have perspective. Perspective will kind of ruin the things. So mask, invert the mask, do this, then mask, invert the mask, and do this. Oops, not just this. And then mask, get rid of every mask, invert the mask, and then just squeeze this. You see, it's very, very easy. So now we have a lot of loops in here. We may not need them, but we'll see. So next thing I want to do, I want to get this here. I will rotate it so the pike is kind of pointing up. And we will try to achieve the overall pike. So this is it. Now, what I will do is, I will go to the pike, select certain areas, and move them so they kinda are where they should be. Here, by the way, it will be a little bit difficult, but we'll see. I will increase the size of this overall thing. Oh, no, decrease it. More like decrease it and put it down. And this will be the length of our pike. But this part here should be more down. Oops, invert the mask and put it more down. Here I will have problems because I have a lot of, I have a lot of edge loops in here. We have to remove them. So we don't need them now. We can later put some on, but now we don't need them. So I will just alt click on them if I can. They're a little bit difficult to click on, but I will try. And then I will remove them. And now I will be able to, this is here. Let me just put it exactly where it should be. Yeah, we are using the spotlight in ZBrush to just put our thing where it should be. Now, the thickness of the handle is okay, but the handle and pike ratio is not good. So I will mask this, invert the mask, and then move this down. Now it's kind of okay. This lower part, let's move it. I'm not moving anything. So again, mask, invert the mask and move it down. It's okay. And now here we have to make it a bit wider. So I will select this, invert the mask. No, I will mask this, invert the mask. And then let's try to make it a bit bigger. Okay. And then I will mask this, invert the mask, and make this bigger, like this. And overall, probably here we should mask, invert, then put our pivot in here and increase it. And then mask, invert the mask. This is, yeah, you will get used to this. If you mask, invert the mask, mask, invert the mask, at some point you will get used to this. And now we have a perfectly good pike. I mean, it's almost the same as the concept. Of course, this thing we now can move inward. So mask, invert the mask, move our gizmo here. And I'm doing this pretty quickly. Of course, for you, it may take a little bit more time, which is absolutely normal. So don't worry if it does take time. And now we can make some kind of things like, for example, we can put our... Ooh, I cannot do this. Okay, I can do this. Then remove the mask. Yeah, it's very difficult when you have so long polygons to select one of the edges, but I selected it. And now it's here like this. We can make one more line. And now this loop here, this loop, I can extrude it. So extrude, polyloop, select here and extrude the loop like this. Yes, this is good. This is looking fine. Of course, I can just put my pivot in here. Pivot. I always say pivot. I don't know. And then here, by the way, I will put one more loop. Select and invert it. And then move it forward. So it will be like a little bit more inward curving here. And those are small things, of course. You will say, why are you doing this? It's so small. But those things sometimes are the things that will do the things. Those things are the things that will do the things. Do you remember? Do you understand now? It's just the best. Okay, now I can remove the mask and then make the pike a bit bigger. Let's see how big. Probably this big, it will be nice. And now I will hide it because we don't need it. And because we will continue working on other parts, the pike is there already, it's okay. Before we start posing our guy, we will go back to this pike, put it on his shoulder, and then pose it. Then pose him. Because if we pose him without the pike, it will be difficult. It will be much more difficult to pose him without the pike. That's why I made the pike. So now we have almost everything. And what we don't have are the gloves. We don't have this part of the horse thing. And also we don't have this part in here, which by the way we will make now. We will make it the same way we made the pike. So the pike we made for 10 minutes. So it's pretty quick, as you can see. It's very easy. So now I will append another cylinder. I will take this cylinder, find it here. It's just under the pike. Yes, select it. Then move it here. And of course, I don't want to work with this cylinder. Why? Because it has many sides and everything. So I will go to my gizmo with W. I'll then click on the wheel in here. The grind wheel, the gear. And then I will go cylinder 3D. And then ZBrush will crash. No, sometimes ZBrush crashes. It's very rare these days. Back in the days, it was a little bit more often. But now, it's kind of rare occasion. And it's bad. So now I will increase the size of this, rotate it. And then if I press W again, I will go back to the cylinder properties. I want it to be a little bit less sides. I don't need that many sides. It will be just a pain in the ass to work with those sides. Now I will increase the length of it. And now I want more loops. So I have one loop, but we need more. So I will go to Z-Modeler brush. I will take one loop here. Okay, so this is first, this second, this is okay. And then maybe one here. And that will be it. I mean, we don't need too much. I will make this small in here. Then this will be big. So I will go again and increase it. Then I will remove all the mask. Then mask this. Invert the mask. Go to my gizmo. Put it here and move this up. And make it smaller. And then this bottom part I will move up. And probably this will be it. Let's put it into position probably. Let's just see if this will work. It will definitely work. It's not a problem. The problem now could be something else. But yeah, if we want to adjust it in place, we'll have to do something. But first I will just make sure that the tail is a little bit smaller here. Ooh, we have this on, which is the... I always forget the name. Sculptris Pro Mode. We don't need it. I mean, I barely use this Sculptris Pro Mode. And in Blender, there is also a dynamic subdivision mode or something. It's almost the same, and I don't use it there too. So this should be smaller. Let's make it smaller. And not so long. And I will put it in here and just adjust it so it's in position. And now I will just adjust the tail. And when we have something like this, we have to do little bits of the adjustment, but at the end it should work and it should look fine. Of course now it's not exactly fine. This also is not exactly fine. I will rotate it, by the way. I will remove all symmetry with X. I will put my pivot in the middle of it and I will rotate it so the sharp things are not exactly where it is. Now it's looking fine. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking fine. Yeah, I will rotate it also from this side. So the point that this is entering the sphere will be not kind of messing up with one of those sharp points, which is good. Now, what I want to do is press D for dynamic subdivision, but you see what happens when we have dynamic subdivision. I will crease it at probably at 2. Crease. Okay, this is good. Now I will go to smooth subdivision like 4. This is fine. And this is what we kind of want. Not exactly, but we can fix it by masking here, for example, and then putting our pivot there and just making it small, making it big, whatever we want. We can even add something in here. Of course, to see it better, we need to adjust it. Mask, invert the mask, put our pivot with Alt here, make it small like this. This will look better. And we can play with it. For example, we can make here in the bottom part, we can extrude this like this, crease it again, and you see what happened. It's not the worst. I mean, it's fine. Of course, especially if we put this material on, so press M, fill object, remove M here in the top. And then we go back to material and you see it's metal now. It's a little bit thin, I think. Let me see how it will look from... Yeah, it's a little bit thin and small. Probably it could be a bit bigger, so I will make it bigger. And then I will make it smaller like this. But first I will mask in here and then I will make it smaller. And then I will go and increase the size of the tail entering this area. You see, I'm just doing adjustment. It's nothing too complicated. It's just adjustments, or those are just adjustments. Now here, the interesting part, I don't need this to be that sharp. I don't need this area, this border to be that sharp. How to fix it? I will go to my gizmo. Let's try that. Not the gizmo, the Z modeler brush, and I will go to an edge, crease, edge loop complete, and alt click here, and now it's not that sharp. I just uncrease those edges, so those edges have no crease, obviously, yeah. And they become like this. Now, what I'm putting here is another edge loop. And probably I will need another one here, yeah. Now, this way, it's fine. Of course, for this bottom part, I need this to be a little bit thicker, because it's too small. So, what I will do, I will try to mask just the top border, and then I will try to move this top a bit up like this. Yeah, if you can do this, it will be fine. If you can't, it will be difficult, because you know, if you snap the viewport, it's like this. You have to rotate it so the bottom is kind of horizontal, which could prove a little bit difficult, but sometimes things are not as easy as we want them to be, of course. So this is looking fine. Let's see the tail. We can just mark some areas in here, like, for example, like this. We can arc an area, and here we can have some kind of those things. It will be different color later, so it's fine for now. But we have, I think we have everything now. In the next video, we probably will go and start working on the hair of the horse, because now it looks very much not nice. So we'll work on that. And then we probably will start defining the things, making thickness of things, making borders. And this can take time. But time is, as we know, something that we have, so it's not a big issue. We kind of will do it. It's not a problem. But it's I don't know. It's looking not good, but it will look better, I promise you. So for now, goodbye and see you in the next video, which will try to make the hair a little bit more interesting. We'll start by detailing the hair. Yes.